Hey everyone, Donna here. As I mentioned in this video over here, I have been trying to inform myself a little bit more about the hygiene products that I use every day, specifically what's in them. And also, as I mentioned in that video, I've been watching some other YouTube videos on this topic. For example, those from Talissa Minoche, where she talks about the natural cosmetics that she uses. And in my video, I mentioned that as my soaps and other products run out, I would like to look into the possibility of replacing them with something different, perhaps some kind of natural cosmetics. Well, last week, a few of my products finally ran out. Body cream, face cream, and hand cream to be specific. And so I began going down, I would call it the rabbit hole of information online, trying to figure out what I should replace them with. And I would say I got pretty far lost down that rabbit hole of information. I mean, there's really just so much information out there, but Stefan was kind enough to help me out. I noticed that he's pretty good at staying calm and level-headed in the face of lots and lots and lots of options and new information. So what happened? I had heard of the app Code Check a few times before, I think including from Talissa. I think she might have mentioned it in one of her videos, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Anyway, so I downloaded the app and I was using it to scan my hand cream, face cream, and body cream, as those were the products that I was planning on replacing, since those were the products that had run out. But then Stefan got his hands on the app as well, and while he might be really good at sifting through lots and lots of information, I noticed he wasn't very good at staying on track, because he got really into it and then he was just going around the house scanning like all sorts of things that we had. Suddenly, it went from my plan of just focusing on replacing my face cream, my body cream, and my hand cream that day, and then kind of over time looking into other products as they ran out, to finding out that lots of other products that we had contained some ingredients that turned out to be, according to the app, pretty nasty sounding stuff. And then it was like, it's kind of hard to continue using a bunch of products that when you scan them, the app tells you that they've got like 4 different ingredients in them that are possibly at least pretty damaging. And right about this time, I also started thinking about how a couple years ago, I was in Ireland and we went to a museum there where they had an exhibit about how people used to wear face powder with lead in it. And it caused serious problems, because it's lead. And I can remember looking at that and being like, oh my God, they used to put lead in their makeup. They used to just like spread lead all over their face. And now I'm wondering if hundreds of years from now, people will look back at us and be like, oh my God, they had XYZ ingredient in their makeup. Oh my God, they put XYZ ingredient all over their face. Are we gonna be that exhibit in the museum 100 years from now? So yeah, just more stuff that I was thinking about as I was scanning all of my products. I had heard from other YouTubers and bloggers and things that I read and watched that it might be good, to use up products if you have them, because, you don't want to be wasteful or something. But that if they have those microplastic beads in there, then from what I heard and saw, it was often recommended to actually throw those out, because the microplastic beads get in the water and really do a lot of damage. The reason that I wasn't really planning on scanning everything right away on that first day was because I didn't think that I had anything with those microplastics in them. I thought that those microplastics were mostly for exfoliating products, like exfoliating face washes or maybe face masks or something like that. But actually, it turns out that they were in my shampoo, and I also think maybe my conditioner and a few other things, but I can't really remember now. I was scanning so much stuff. But yeah, I was really shocked by that. And I actually had no idea why they were in there, because I didn't want to exfoliate my hair. This video is not sponsored by the Code Checker app or anything like that, but Yeah, just a tip, if you want to find out if your products have any of these things in them, you can of course download the app, or you can check the product ingredients for these words. These are the words that I found to look out for to see if a product has the microplastics in it. If you see one of these words, and if you have another tip for an app for finding out like what is in products and stuff like that, please let me know about it down in the comments. Thank you. I'm really interested to scan stuff now and find out what is in there. Within all this checking and scanning of shampoo and conditioner and creams that I had bought here in Germany, there were also a couple soaps and deodorants that I had brought back from the US. And wow, there was also a big shock for me to come there. When I brought these products from the US to Germany, I knew that they didn't exist in Germany, that you couldn't find them here because I had looked for them and I had not been able to find them. But I mean, there are a lot of things that don't exist in Germany that do exist in the US, and lots of things that don't exist in the US but do exist in Germany for totally innocent, innocuous reasons. But I was pretty surprised, shocked to find that when I scanned some, not all, of course, but some of my American products, there were sometimes ingredients listed that specifically said use of this ingredient is restricted in the EU, as well as use is limited in several countries. And then in the app, it went on to specifically list the Bavarian State Office for Health and Food Safety as a source of the information. One of the ingredients that had use is restricted in the EU was CI 17200, and Cocomida MEA was one listed as use is limited in several countries. So what I gather from this is that there are ingredients in some American like hygiene products, you know, that are cosmetics that apparently due to possible health issues, possible health concerns, them being possibly dangerous to our health, are banned from being used in products in Germany and the EU in general. I will link to some more articles and information down in the description box below, but from what I could find, apparently there are lots and lots and lots of chemicals that are often used in cosmetics in the US that are banned in the EU due to health and safety concerns. If you follow me on Instagram, then you might already know that a couple weeks ago, I filmed with the Bayerische Rundfunk, the BR, and what we filmed was for the program called Respect. And the episode that we filmed is about personal freedom, you know, the freedom to do whatever you want, versus government regulation. The German title of the episode is Meine Sache oder nicht? Individuelle Freiheit versus Gemeinwohl. And in the episode, I also do talk about some of the differences between the US and Germany in this regard. And yeah, this whole thing with the soap and cosmetics ingredients really made me think of that topic. You know, that in the US, these ingredients are allowed to be used in soaps and cosmetics and other products, but in Germany and in the EU, they're not allowed to be put in soaps and cosmetics and other products. So, you know, it's the individual freedom to put these ingredients in cosmetic products versus government regulation to try to keep us safe. I don't know right now, as of filming this video, when the Respect episode should air for the first time on TV in Germany. It'll also be available online as well, but hopefully by the time this video that I'm filming now actually comes out, I will have more information about when the episode should air. So if I do, I'll put it here. This is when it should air for the first time on German TV. Depending on when it airs, I'm planning to watch the first airing live and live tweet about it on Twitter and also post about it on Instagram. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram for that. I will also link to the online episode down in the description box below. So my question for you is, what has been your experience with getting to know what ingredients are in the products that you use? What kind of experience do you have with using natural cosmetics or other natural products? What tips do you have? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. You can check out some more videos over here. And a really, really, really big thank you so much to our patrons who support us on Patreon and help make these videos possible. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to check out our Patreon page, you can find a link to that down in the description box below. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen!